So last Thursday, I did it again. I hit the daily loss limit on my Tradeify account. The platform locked me out. I couldn't place another trade, even if I'd wanted to. Now, here's what makes it worse. I was right about the trade. Not a little right. I was textbook right. It's the kind of setup that Adam Mancini calls A plus. I'd watched that level hold as support and resistance for a week and a half. I had the whole thing mapped out. I still got wiped out. Now, that right there that you're looking at, that's it. My first ever payout. On the same day I DLL'd my Tradeify account, the exact same day. I'm 65 years old. It's taken me this long to figure out what the payout paradox actually is and why every trader I know, including me, walks right into it. In the early 1950s, the world believed it was physically impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Doctors said your heart would explode. The athletes believed it, the coaches believed it. Then Bannister did it in 1954. Now, here's the part that matters. Within 1 month, another runner beat his record. Within a year, a few other runners all ran a mile in less than 4 minutes, even though it had never been done before Bannister. It wasn't because the human body evolved. It was because once they saw it was possible, the psychological ceiling of the 4 minute mile was shattered. I've had eligible payouts before, at least two, and I think maybe three XFA accounts. I'd done the work, I'd had the 5 winning days, I had the green light. I could have clicked a withdrawal at any time, and every single time I told myself I was going to build the account up to a certain amount first. Every single time I blew those accounts and got nothing. I had my own 4 minute mile. Last Thursday, I finally broke through, but not in the way you'd expect. Now, let me show you exactly what happened because this is the part I need you to see. You see how this level, 70.85, last week acted as resistance. Early Thursday acted as resistance, resistance, resistance. Then finally, a peak above resistance. It finally broke through, tested once again, and then we rocketed last Friday. Then we had that gap down open Sunday night. And where did we end up? 70.85 to the tick. Rallied strong off of that Monday. And then Tuesday, afternoon sell off to the tick. 70.85, and then rallied hard off that. We knew that this was the golden level. I mean, you see how critical that was? I mean, bears had to be thinking if we breach that level, this rally's over, it's done, it's toast. Let's go all in on shorts. So let's look at Thursday afternoon's waterfall down move. Now, I got excited when I saw that happening. So I ended up buying actually when it breached the 71.47 level because I thought that was going to hold. That was a pivot level. That was I went small size. I think I only did 3 or 5 MES. I was expecting another bounce off of it like we did. Now when it undercut that level, I was sure that was it. And unfortunately, by the time we got to here, I had already DLL'd my Tradeify account. Let's let this play out a little more. Now, when it pierced this 70.85, this, and then came back and tested, this is the failed breakdown. This is the classic move. And you can see how it just rockets right off of that level. And that was the trade. That was the trade I'd been waiting for all week. And yet in my anxiousness, I ended up rushing in. I hadn't traded since Tuesday. So I was all excited to jump back in and get a trade. Now, if any of you follow Adam Mancini out there, you know one of his favorite terms is if you rush, you lose. Well, I rushed and I lost. I sat there with my platform locked. I was right on the trade thesis, but dead wrong on the timing. I'd waited patiently for days and then I botched it all. Now, here we are back on Tuesday. I hadn't traded in my Top Step account since Tuesday, so I was anxious to take a trade. But I will say on Tuesday, I did take a good execution. I was looking for the bounce off 47, which was a pivot level. I took it, I bought 5 MES, sold 3, and then as the market continued to deteriorate a little bit, I decided to sell out of the runners. But I felt very good about that trade. I executed it. I felt for me fine. So that got me to my 5 winning days. I made, I think, $210 on that day. So now I had the green light to go ahead and get a payout, but I wasn't at the number I wanted in order to take a payout. So when Thursday hit and we got that undercut of that 70.85 level, this was the A plus setup. By then, I'd already hit my DLL on my Tradeify account. So I totally fumbled the ball in my Top Step account. I was trading not to lose instead of trading the chart. I'd committed mentally to taking a payout, but I still wanted a certain number. And in my zeal for trying to increase my number, I ended up trading way too safely. I got kicked out of my trade a couple of times near break even. Finally, on this wick at 350, the market on close wick, I ended up getting kicked out and I lost $46 for the day instead of making the $500 I easily should have made on a move like that. I mean, see, there's a difference between trading to win and trading not to lose. And I'll be honest, they feel almost identical. But be careful because while they both feel disciplined, one is reading the chart and the other is protecting your ego and your profit. And it's fascinating, no matter how much I know the rule, how much I understand the rule, I end up breaking it in those critical moments of decision. I mean, I had the right map, I had the right compass, I threw it overboard. I'm staring at my P&L instead of just looking at the chart unfold. When I finally did get wicked out at that 350 market on close number, I decided to just stop. Instead of sizing up or going on tilt, I just stopped. And before I tell you what happened next, I mean, if you're getting anything out of this at all, and especially if you're tired of the fake gurus and the highlight reels, just hit subscribe. We're going to figure this out together. Here's why I took the $500 payout. I need you to really hear this part. In the past, this is exactly where my story ended in disaster. I would have kept trading. I would have tried to claw back that number in my head, or I'd wait and I'd wait and I'd tell myself I was being patient while I was really just delaying the inevitable. This time I stopped totally. I accepted the loss, and then I walked into my Top Step dashboard and I clicked withdraw. It wasn't the number I wanted. It was $500, not 1,000, not the number that was in my head. Now, $500 isn't going to change my life. I want to be real with you about that. I know that. But here's what it does do. It proves the concept. It proves that if I follow the rules, if I stay patient, focus on base hits instead of home runs, I could string together some winning trades. Once we string those winning trades together, we can take out real money out of the market. So it's not about the $500. It's about breaking through my own 4-minute mile. The moment I clicked that button, something shifted because now I know, not theoretically, not from watching someone else's payout video. I know it's possible because I did it. Now, the old me would have walked, it would have blown up the account. Not anymore. So, in that part, I do feel some true growth. Now, let's look at where we stand. And this is kind of surprising, actually. In my Top Step account, that's not the balance now, but this is my monthly P&L, and we did get the. I actually think I got the XFA in March, but I didn't make any trades. I think I got it March 31st, and I just, for whatever reason, now I even forget. I just didn't make any trades the first few days, but I've been consistent, up until that Thursday. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Here's my Tradeify account, and this does not look at all like the same human being, like the same trader. I mean, it blows my mind, and that just shows my inconsistency as a trader. And whereas I've just got to step it up a little more. I mean, my Top Step stats, they're awesome, in my opinion. I mean, I know some of you probably make this much in 5 minutes. I don't know. But for me, I feel good about this. I'm ashamed of this. And I really have to step back and comprehend what's going on. And one of the things I'm going to do for that is I'm going to put myself on probation right now because coincidentally, I have about $1,000 balance in both my Top Step account, as you can see here, and I have about $1,000 buffer in my Tradeify accounts. That's just coincidental the way this is all played out, but that is interesting because what I'm going to do from now on, and I'm going to do this right now on screen so you can see how serious I am about turning this around. You can see where my PDLL, my personal daily loss limit is $500. I'm going to change that now to 250. It's still going to liquidate and block me. So on Tradeify, my daily loss limit is 250, and approximately I'm going to make it approximately a what do you call it? A $125 per trade loss. I may go a little more than that. It just is going to depend on the situation in the markets. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with no more than 2 or 3 MES on any given trade. So these are my new rules, my new PDLLs, if you will, until we can build this buffer back up. So again, what I'm saying is from now on, I'm only going to take 2 to 3 MES with a maximum risk per trade of about $125. And then a $250 daily loss limit is going to lock me out of both Tradeify and Top Step. Now I got to demonstrate that I can be consistent again. I've got no business right now scaling up. Patience earns the right to size up. Now, here's what I want to say to you. If you're somewhere in your own journey, you've had those eligible payout moments and you've talked yourself out of clicking the button, don't be me for 5 years. Click the button. Prove to yourself it's real and build from there, because consistency, my friends, is going to be built on the carcass of these mistakes. Trade by trade, day by day, I'm going to do this. And if you're watching this, so can you. And if you're tired of the fake gurus, just hit subscribe. Let's get to that next payout together. Thanks for watching.